Welcome back inside Red Place, everyone, and we get set for the final meeting of the season between Edmonton and Columbus. Let's meet the starting goaltenders. They're brought to you by Tim Hortons, our Canada, our country. Nikolai Habibulis stopped all 43 shots he faced in St. Louis on Tuesday. Tonight will be his 7th start and the first time he has started 2 in a row all season. At the other end, 24-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky shut out Vancouver on Tuesday through 65 minutes, but lost in a shootout. 8 of his 11 wins have come in the month of March. The Columbus Bluejackets absolutely, if they have any chance of making the playoffs, are going to feed Sergei Bobrovsky.
It's an elimination.
The Edmonton Oilers, meantime, were in St. Louis on Tuesday
at 4-1.
The Blues by the score of 3-0
is underway.
And the first goal of the game, St. Louis on Tuesday defeated the Blues by the score of 3-0. First win there, and the first goal of the game were in St. Louis on Tuesday. Stanley defeated the Blues by the score of 3-0.
Tinted back to that.
He scores! Comes just 10 seconds in.
23 seconds in. It's 1-0 Oilers.
And
this one here. What a start for game 5 with a celebration of Jordan Eberle.
The playoff of wall
After they won on the overtime win.
just getting a puck in the net. Into the high slot. But Cam Atkinson, he's known to be a shooter, Kevin. He gets away very quickly. Catches Patty being a little bit off guard. I think this puck comes real quickly. Little redirection maybe off the stick on Rick the net. But a very quick start to Columbus and a 1-0 lead.
He's got 4 goals on the season. Came into this game with a goal in his last 2 games. He has been playing on the board with 1 game.
That's the helper.
The stick on Rick the net. And a very quick start for Columbus and a 1-0 lead.
He's got 4 goals on the season. Came into this game with a goal in his last 8. He has his name on the board with 10 chances for a movie. They're out there, but they're under siege now as here comes Costco. But Broussard has got his spot on Habibulis. Costco. Left touch view. And Broussard will now change up. And that will allow Ryan Johansson to step on the ice. Now the Blue Jackets, 11th in the West. They've got 33 points on the season. Score many goals. They are last in the league in offense.
This guy Sergei Bobrovsky last month, he closes the door. He did not get it.
Jumping into play, they're going to get goal. Second line out there now for the Oilers. Odemski, Gagne, and Magnus Piatti. Justin Schultz goes up the middle for Gagne. Same Gagne surrounded by white shirts. He's getting support. Captain Sean Horcov out there now with Ryan Jones and May. Yakopov. Bobrovsky can't control it. Picked up there by center two. And no pass for Jared Cole. 2-point him. Ryan Whitney's got it. He is paired with Corey Potter. Potter throws it up the ice. The race is on. Yakopov is going to get there first. He hoped, but he didn't. And getting there in time was James Wisniewski. Let's take a look now at the keys to the game, brought to you, as always, by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built for tough.
Well done for the Columbus Bluejackets, the special teams. Only 2 power play goals against in the last 7 games played. The penalty killing has been good, but only 4 power play goals in their last 10 games. They need to get that going if they want to be effective and get into the playoffs. If the Oilers pull the trigger, you saw that early shot by Atkinson. How do you do? Evans going to follow that up.
This line continues to put pressure on. Atkinson let the shot go. Habibulis took a glance behind him. And it's Albert Stinson and Artem Anisimov providing the problems now. Front with a shot. Habibulis the save. Juggles the rebound. And it's picked up there by Whitney. And he will clear it down the ice. Ryan Smith Brown and Leonard Petrell get their first gift of the hockey game. People and sweeps it around the boards. Ready for a fair. He put it by Petrell and it came right to a corner. 7 defensemen tonight for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The addition of James Wisniewski back in the lineup. He had a broken foot, missed 14 games. Let's take a look at those starting lineups brought to you by Boston Beat. The addition of James Wisniewski back in the lineup. He had a broken foot, missed 14 games. Let's take a look at those starting lineups brought to you by Boston Beat, your hockey headquarters destination.
Yeah, as you mentioned, for the Columbus Blue Jackets, a couple of insertions as Eriksson steps back in. Wisniewski, as you said, after the last 14 games of this, with that foot injury, is back in the lineup. Toledo and Gillies out for head coach Todd Richards tonight, and for Edmonton, the same mix of characters that were in the game 2 tonight, that win versus St. Louis.
Unlike your voice, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
And the other thing may be Adrian Aucoin is not 100% bumps and bruises, so they got a little insurance with that 7 defenseman. R.J. Umber is out there with Ryan Johansson and Sean Collins. Sean Collins, the youngster, called on March 23rd for the second time this season. Sean Collins did not bless it against Vancouver. Justin Schultz is going to chase it back down into his own zone. Touches the puck to get a nice ball.
And Kevin, obviously not to start the Ralph Kruger would like against the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. One of the things he said today was that the Columbus Blue Jackets, in their opinion, is the hardest working team in the National Hockey League. When you and they've had, they understand the Edmonton Oilers going in the zone.
Touches the puck to the game. Brought to you by Ford. Ford, drive one.
And Kevin,
for the Pittsburgh Penguins coming in here in their 3rd game in 4 nights, it's get pucks deep, very important. Dan Bilesma told us before the game to establish that forecheck early. That's where they excel and how they've won their last 2 games. For the Oilers, use this emotion. Home opener, stacked crowd in here at Rexall Place. Use it to their benefit.
down 1-0.
1-4 in the month of March. And the puck is not dropped. Let's do it again.
And Kevin, obviously not to start the Ralph Kruger would like against the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. One of the things he said today was that the Columbus Blue Jackets, in their opinion, is the hardest working team in the National Hockey League. When you look at the record that they're going to have to outwork the opponent, which won't be an easy task, and now down 1-0, it just gets
more in the month that they have not been able to beat.
Anomalies like Edmonton and Minnesota, for whatever reason, different teams and styles and certain buildings, anomalies like Edmonton, way of making it a difficult night. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, typically a team that Edmonton has great success against. But this year they've battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game to pull out the certain building anomalies like
that's just one of those teams that they have not been able to beat.
Anomalies like Edmonton and Minnesota, for whatever reason. Different teams and styles and certain buildings just have that way of making it a difficult night. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, typically a team that Edmonton has great success against. But this year they've battled through. And you look back to that first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game to pull out the win 3-1. He was definitely the first on that game. The second game went to the shootout. But they won, so they've competed very aggressively against Edmonton. We've seen it early on already in this one.
They don't score many goals. They don't score many goals from the opponent. Third goal over 15 games. Nick Schultz, hit it by Vinny Quattro. Broussard in there as well. Elk Point native Mark Letestu is also on that line as the top line for the Oilers can only be effective when they're in the other end, but Boston just won't let them get the puck. Nick Schultz, Boston lays it behind net. There's Broussard in a one-on-one battle with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Broussard, left corner. Nugent-Hopkins spins him around. Letestu will get it to Boston. Tough sledding here. Behind the net, Letestu being watched by Nick Schultz. Letestu leaves it there for Vinny Boston. Boston to the middle. Wisniewski with it now. Little saucer pass intended for Letestu, and up right to Abby Bull. Wisniewski with it now. Little saucer pass Intended for Letestu, but right to Harry Bullen. He's not going to take any chances. He wants things changed.
Also not the game, so for him to shuffle in, Steve McIntyre gets into the lineup.
Great work down low here by
And
Columbus.
also Richard Park steps in the lineup on that top line for the Dolphins. So some changes there for Edmonton. Their first game, shuffling of lines, trying to figure things out. Tom Rennie is, and there's an early penalty here for too many men. There's going to be some of that confusion here.
Test to redirect.
Jackets with 7 shots so far. The Oilers with just 1. Intended for
Quick body
Letestu,
movement. They swarm the puck and get it back. And the cross pass almost gets picked off here high in the slot, but it doesn't right here. You'll see this pass go through. Bang! Almost gets picked off because it doesn't. A little out of positioning. And the one-timer by Letang gets through traffic and handcuffs Devin Dubnik. So terrific recovery by Pittsburgh after that pass to get it back to the shooting lane to the net quickly. And keep battling.
Blue Jackets with 7 shots so far. The Oilers with just 1 registered on Sergei Bobrovsky. Sullivan on the near side.
Letestu.
One-time shot.
One-timer. He scores!
For the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's first lead of the night. In game 5. The Blue Jackets in the first period lead 2-1.
Quick puck movement, quick body.
All night, but the Columbus Blues look back to that first matchup on February 10th. It was Devin Dubnik with 39 saves in that game to pull out the win 3-1. He was definitely the first star in that game. The second game went to the shootout, but they won, so they've competed very aggressively and hard against Edmonton. We've seen it early on to pull out the win 3-1. On February 10th, it was Devin Dubnik with 39 saves in that game to pull out the win 3-1. He was definitely the first star in that game. The second game went to the shootout, but they won, so they've competed very aggressively and hard against Edmonton. We've seen it early on already in this one here.
Well, they don't score many goals. They don't score many goals on the road. It's their 23rd goal on the road in 15 games. Bullen will get it to Nick Schultz, trying to get it by Vinny Quastro. Bouchard in there as well. Elk Point native, Martin Letestu is also on that line. It's the top line for the Oilers. Can only be effective when they're in the other end, but Quastro just won't let him get the puck. Nick Schultz, Quastro lays it behind the end. There's Bouchard in a one-on-one battle with Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard in the corner. Nugent Hopkins spins it around. Letestu will get it to Quastro. Tough sledding here. Behind the net, Letestu being won by Nick Schultz. Letestu leaves it there for Vinny Quastro. Quastro to the middle with Nushi with it now. Center soccer pass intended for Letestu, but right to Harry Bullen. He's not going to give it a now.
Keep battling.
Once things change. Pass intended for Letestu, but right to Harry Bullen. He's not going to take any chances. He wants things changed.
And I'll tell you, I think Letestu got a piece of this little backhand pass from Wisniewski. Great work down low here by Columbus. Good cycle. And stick with it as they just keep battling along the perimeter. Eventually find that little zone. Great there. A little tip there by Letestu. Redirects on Harry Bullen. He had to have a quick eye to catch that one with the glove and make the save.
Blue Jackets with 7 shots.
A quick eye to catch that one with the glove and make the save.
Tragically lost.
Save. Comes along the good hustle there by May Yakopov. Wasn't successful the first time in negating the icing. Was the second time. Into the corner it goes. And there is the captain, Horcov, sends it around the boards. It's picked off. Schmid and Petrie, the blue liners, as Jared Bull, McKenzie, and Umberger are up front. Eric McKenzie. Gets in by Erickson, throws it towards the net. Umberger providing the screen in front. And Schmid trying to clear him away. McKenzie with a shot. That gets deflected wide. Jack Johnson buzzing down low. Umberger tries to wrap around and goes right through the blue paint. Schmid wants to relieve the pressure and does. Louis, we were told that the Rexall place actually has some dips in it. And I'm wondering if we're seeing that here in the first period.
Over the years, it's certainly slanted to our right towards Nikolai Happy-Bullen. This save was 9th shot of the period and only 1 shot on net so far for the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to have to pick that end up.
Tell us, Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
Taylor Hall, like many of the Edmonton Oilers this morning in the dressing room, were talking about the fact that just down the road, Jerome McGinley was dumped on the part of the Calgary Flames. Growing up in Calgary for Taylor, Jerome was his favorite player, and the fact that McGinley was traded had the Oilers number 4 thinking about potentially being moved.
I hope I don't get traded anytime soon. I really like it here.
Well, I think he's safe, guys. If he ever did, everyone would be saying, what the hell's going on?
Hello. And the Calgary Flames are here on Monday, and that's going to be a little bit strange, Lou, not to see number 12 out there, Earl McGinley.
There will be no question about it. Obviously, the heart and soul and face of the franchise for so many years, 16 years in the National Hockey League, all with one organization, ever since coming over from the Dallas Stars, where he never played a game for. But, you know, you think of Calgary, that's who you think of. As Mike Brown throws a big hit down there in the corner. He'll be missed by Calgary. No question about that.
Fourth line trying to get something started here, but Brown charging the net.
Edmonton Oilers.
He threw a hit along with Mike Brown.
In the Stanley Cup first round.
The test tube dumps it down the ice. That line's going to head off. Get a big ovation here from the folks at Rexall Place. They appreciate that hard work. Hall brings it in. Hall, wrist shot. And that one doesn't get through. It's Hall gets the puck right back again. Hall plays it back to the point. Potter with a left hand. That goes wide. Whitney waiting for it near side. Behind the net. Hall's got it. His line starting to buzz. Ryan losing Hopkins, but carrying on. Is Nikita Nikita plays a kill with a lick to Heavy Blue. Comes out to Hall. Couldn't get it behind Nikita, but carrying on. Bluejackets, here comes Bluejackets. Drop pass. Whitney dives in. By Bobrovsky. Way back the other way. Jack Johnson stopped. Here we go, end to end. Hall sees it there. Hensky carries on. Oilers make a change. Calvert brings it back for Columbus. Calvert moving in with Atkinson. He'll play it behind the net. Waiting for it is Petrie against Atkinson. They come together. Out of Anisinov. His backhand. Blocked by Schmid. Atkinson moving in. Still has it. Now stripped to the puck. Back to Piardi. Pass to Calvert. And Calvert moving in with Atkinson. Atkinson trying to get the pass. It was broken up before it got there, but Anisinov carries on. He is checked by Piardi. And here comes Sam Gagner. He's got Hensky with him. Crisscross inside the blue line. Gagner turns. He'll go flat right. Petrie walks in. Gets around Calvert. Petrie still has it. Now he has to deal with Jack Johnson. Petrie plays it back to the point. Speed waiting for it. Fires a shot towards the net. That one deflected wide. Gagner covering up on the blue line on the near side. 10:55 to go here in the first period. Columbus got a goal by Cam Atkinson. As the lead. Petrie shot. Oilers. Let's go get the series to 3-1. Garrett McKenzie avoids the big hit from May. Yakopov. Yakopov has it go by, and Vinny Klockvold got it down. Klockvold cross our speed. Better Tutin. Slap pass. We're trying to get it to Klockvold. Klockvold to the middle. Atkinson, or that is McKenzie's shot. That was blocked. Furious pace in this first period. Nick Schultz with the puck now. He'll play it to Horcov. Horcov with Jones flying the zone. Yakopov has the puck. Here's Yakopov. There's a shot, and that one goes wide. Klockvold chops that puck out to center. Whitney with it now. Shot clock starting to settle down in terms of the Oilers. It is 9-4 now as Ryan Smith dishes up.
Much better transition for the last 2 minutes here for the Edmonton Oilers. All over a good quick transition from defense to offense. They're attacking their speed. They've had the Columbus Bluejackets a couple times in line changes. Weren't able to capitalize, but you like to see them driving wide, getting pucks to the net. But Grosky had to come up with a couple of big saves.
R.J. Umberger moving in now. Umberger shot it. Bobby Bouldin got a glove on that. Mike Brown on the far side against Ryan Johansson. Bobby Bouldin slows it up. He'll give it to Potter. Quickly to Whitney. Whitney to the middle to Smith. Smith, Petrell, and Brown. Smith will backhand that in. It bounces right on to Sergei Bobrovsky. And he will hang on to it. Ryan Whitney, 2-1 Columbus. And a great feed from Nugent Hopkins. Stops up the top of the block.
It's time now to enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey. For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
Talked about a home game, Gene. The start of a 3-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers. They will play Vancouver on Saturday, and as you mentioned, the Oilers here on Monday, and that Monday game we'll have for you on Sportsnet. 9:15 left to go in this first period. The Jackets with a 1-0 lead. Nugent Hopkins to Hall. Hall Across the ice for Eberle. It was broke out and up by Vinny Crossbow. And that is taken away from him by Nugent Hopkins. Here is Hall. Toe drag, trying to get the shot away. And it was Dalton Bard who stole the puck and then knocked him down. Broussard. Look at just inside the blue line. The puck goal, but there was Vladislav Sneed. Broussard. Letestu. He's under pressure from Jeff Petrie. Petrie. Pass for Hall. Hall wasn't ready for it. And back to get it is James Wisniewski, and that's going to be icing. Talking about the Oilers' schedule. Here's what's left, including pass for Hall. Hall wasn't ready for it. And back to get it is James Wisniewski, and that's going to be icing.
Scores. And it's 3-1 for the Black.
Talking about the Oilers' schedule. Here's what's left, including 10 games at home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of home games here for Edmonton down the stretch is a very good thing, and obviously not the record they want to have thus far in the season. Only 5 home wins for the Edmonton Oilers, but the ball's in their court. And that's, exactly home wins for the Edmonton Oilers, but the ball's in their court. And that's, but the ball's in their court. That's, exactly how Ralph Krueger looks at it down the stretch. If they can stay in that mix on home ice, which you'd rather do in your home ice than you would in the road. There's no question about that.
Their next 4 games are against either Calgary or Vancouver. They got to go at home against Calgary, and then they meet with Vancouver on Saturday, and then they'll go to Vancouver to start a road trip that includes LA and Anaheim. Artem Anisimov being watched by Justin Schultz. Hemsky gets it. He is checked by Better Tootin. Here's Atkinson. Quick pass. Anisimov gets it back. Cross ice. Quick feed. Quick goal. And it's Matt Calvert. So that line strikes again. Quick feed. Here's Atkinson. Quick pass. Anisimov gets it back. Cross ice. Quick feed. Quick goal. And it's Matt Calvert. Better Tootin. Here's Atkinson. Quick pass. Anisimov gets it back. Cross ice. Quick feed. Quick goal. This is and Atkinson each have 2 points, a goal and an assist. Volvo came in without a goal in his last 9 games. Kim Erickson lays it along the board. The Bluejackets making a change. Yakopov with it now. Yakopov spins in the corner, lost it. Jared Bowl sent it slowly down the ice, but not slowly enough as Corey Potter touches it, and we get an icing call.
And R.J. Umberger wondering what happened here as this puck, watch, just comes up. Sorry, it was a stick of Yakopov as he was bracing himself to take that hit. Comes up and catches him right in the nose area. So no penalty on the play because it happened so fast everybody converged through. But for R.J. Umberger, getting looked at right there on the bench.
It's a team without Brandon Dubinsky. He has missed the last week with a knee injury. Not on this period. That will continue into Calgary on Friday. Jordan Eberle from the corner. He'll play it back to the point. Going to go with Jeff Petrie. Hall behind the net now. Hall being watched by Johnson. Plays it back to Petrie. Petrie stops that shot, and that one goes to Barrios. Sean Collins pushes it out to center. Checked by Petrie, turning now. Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Quickly to Hall. Hall avoids the hit from Erickson. Hall driving from the net. Takes the shot. Deflected over top. Hall gets the puck back to Schultz. Nick Schultz will give it to Eberle. Eberle moves to the middle. Got surrounded. Stripped to the puck, and away comes Letestu. Quickly to Broussard. Broussard with Russell driving the net. Rebound in front. Letestu jamming away. Andy Boulin shuts the door. Russell. And I keep it in for a while, and Nugent Hopkins at the end of the shift will give it to Leonard Petrell. He's going to head off. Ryan Smith will join that 4th line. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first period. Shots are 11-5 in favor of the Columbus Blue Jackets. They struggled mightily when they come to Northern Alberta. They have won just 2 of their last 10 visits. Oilers on a 4-game winning streak against this Columbus team here at Rexall. And the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're down by a pair right now. To win. And Atkinson to the middle for Calvert. To Anisimov. Artem Anisimov moving in, trying to get it back to Matt Calvert. He was checked by Potter. Anisimov centers it, and there is Leonard Petrell to take it away. Petrell. Potter Now to Smith. Ryan Smith is the fourth line for the Columbus Blue Jackets, joins the fray. Just as the fourth line of the Edmonton Oilers gets off the ice. The second line out there now. Sam Gagner, 12 goals. No longer the points leader. That is Taylor Hall with 30. Gagner's got a dozen goals. Chipped by Piardi. Couldn't get it by James Wisniewski gets stopped by Hemsky. Hemsky zigzag. Trying to get it to Gagner. That was broken up. Gagner turns. It's a second. Magnus Piardi scores. By James Wisniewski gets stopped by him. Yakopov. Zigzag. Trying to get it to Gagner. That was broken up.
He scores! Yakopov! 3-2! On the door. Now Yakopov. Second playoff goal. And gets the game 5 goal scoring title.
And that's exactly what Sam Gagner does after some good work by Alex Hemsky on the line to keep this puck in, as it looks like it's almost about to go out. So good job here to converge in. It's a bouncing puck. Hemsky does that little button hook and just throws it towards Gagner. It's the spin around a one-time, and it gets it down into the danger zone. And Piardi going through the net just picks it up and tucks it around Bobrovsky. The game, and Magnus Piardi looking through the net.
Within one.
Just picks it up and tucks it around Bobrovsky. And Magnus Piardi loves to play against the Blue Jackets.
He's got 7 goals on the season. Without a point in his last 4. He's got 7 goals on the season. Without a point in his last 4 until right now. Sam Gagner and Alex Hemsky get the helpers. For Sam Gagner, he's got 17 assists on the season. And Alex Hemsky's got 11 helpers. The Oilers have tied with a 2-0 lead. 15:09, that's the end of the goal. Horcov's line trying to keep that momentum going. John Horcov. Petrie steps into a shot. Shows the screen that must be the save. A point back down. Horcov went to the blue paint. Petrie couldn't keep that puck in. The Oilers will retreat. Schmid will get it to Jones. Ryan Jones goes cross-ice to Yakopov. Yakopov to Petrie. Petrie trying to go up high. Fired it a little bit too high. Oh, welcome back inside Rexall Place, everyone. Is Nisimov moving in. Trying to get it back. Doesn't go. Shots by Brassard. To Calgary on Friday. Season. Converge in. 2-0. Couldn't keep that. A big shot. Jones the screen that brought you the save. A point knocked down Horcov. Right in the blue paint. Petrie. Couldn't keep that puck in. 15:09. Season. Going. John Horcov. Petrie steps into a shot. Jones the screen that brought you the save. A point knocked down Horcov. Right in the blue paint. Petrie. Couldn't keep that puck in. The Oilers will retreat. Schmid will get it to Jones. Ryan Jones goes cross-ice to Yakopov. Yakopov to Petrie. Petrie trying to go up high. Fired it a little bit too high. The puck ends up going up and out. Magnus Piardi, 7 goals on the season. It's 2-1.
And Yakopov.
Magnus Piardi, 7 goals on the season.
The goal.
It's 2-1.
In game 5.
A big welcome and thank you to everybody, the Canadian Forces watching us on television, listening to us on the radio network. Welcome, everyone. And we'll give away a prize right now. The Apple Safeway and Naval Coffee, Sherry Curnew of Fort McMurray has won the Lagostina 11-piece cookware set on the goal. His 7th of the season. Magnus Piardi at 15:09. His 7th of the season. Magnus Piardi at 15:09. 3:55 to go in the first period. Blue Jackets 11 shots. The Oilers 7. There's and Hall out there now. R.J. Umberger. Moving in with Sean Collins. Umberger stopped up in the corner. Umberger takes a look, gets it down low. Ryan Johansson, checked by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins gets the puck to Everly. Everly gets it to Hall. Hall with speed across the blue line. Taylor Hall going wide. Checked there by the Heaton, and Keaton goes down. Right back in. Gives the puck to Keaton. Keaton checked by Everly, but he gets it to Dalton. Quickly to Umber. Umber goes cross-ice. That pass was intended for Sean Collins. Too far ahead, and it's going to be icing call.
The breathe.
Not get one.
Blockbuster Comedy Night. The popular comedy Seed is part of Monday's Blockbuster Comedy Night on City, which is the #1 most watched night of the week.
Sam Gagne on PRB. Alashevsky out there. I gave an assist to Hemsky. He did not get one. It was Sam Gagne getting the only assist on that goal. That may change.
Assists in the
Keaton. Given a bump, plays it off the boards and down into Order territory. Ryan Whitney
last year he
earns
had
in his own zone. 3 minutes to go in the period.
and 9 assists in the 2012 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Alashevsky goes down.
And Alashevsky
And
goes down.
Anisimov said, I'd had nothing to do with it. The referees begged to differ, including Kelly Sutherland.
I got to tell you, I don't think he touched him.
Well, he's going to the box.
I think that what happened was Alashevsky came with so much
Columbus
speed,
penalty,
and
number
he saw
42,
Anisimov,
2 minutes for
and he
tripping.
tried to get away from him and jumped over his stick is what he did. But I don't know if this really makes contact. I mean, I could see how the referee from the angle that he's at could think. But
Artem Anisimov couldn't believe that one. 17:03, the
I
time of
think
the tripping ball.
Alashevsky was actually laughing
What?
as he came off the ice. He's like, are you kidding me? I'll take it.
Oilers did not get a power play opportunity in St. Louis on Tuesday. They'll get the first one of this hockey game here. And there you go. The 5th-ranked power play goes to work. They have got 27 power play goals this season. And that is tied for 4th in the league.
The time 17 minutes, 3 seconds.
They have not scored a power play goal against the Columbus Bluejackets this season. The series that could change right here. Jordan Everly didn't get that patented backhand away. Whitney at the point. Ryan Whitney. Down low quickly to Everly. He'll give it to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Magnus Piarvi in the blue paint, getting hacked at by Sergei Bobrovsky. Gagne beats it up front for Everly. Couldn't get the shot. Gagne will try from a sharp angle and went right through the blue paint. The Columbus Blue Jackets 14th best at penalty kill. Whitney takes the look. Just over a minute in the penalty to Artem Anisimov. Hall steps over the boards. Nugent-Hopkins with it now, trying to get it to Hall. And Taylor Hall just a little bit anxious, trying to get his 3rd power play goal of the season. He was offside.
Here's that earlier chance. As it was Gagne below the goal line, just threads this one through. And a good, if you look at the background there, a good stick defense by the forward collapsing down McKenzie and not allow that puck to get right to Jordan Everly that was driving to the net. So it was hard to see from this angle, but it was a perfect stick check there by McKenzie that broke that up.
55 seconds left to go in the first power play of the game. Justin Schultz, the lone blue liner. He'll bring it across the line himself. Drop it back. Hemsky waiting for it there. Gives it back to Schultz. He is under pressure from Nikita to Keaton, and Albert sends it the rest of the way. That will chase Alashevsky back into his own zone. R.J. Umberger keeps an eye on him, but Hemsky's got speed. Here comes Alashevsky flying across the blue line. Hemsky cutting for the net. Alashevsky is stopped by Bobrovsky. Rebound for Horcov, gets by it. Nikita to Keaton without his stick. Back to the point. Justin Schultz. Alashevsky. Hemsky back to Schultz. Schultz, quick shot, and that one sails over top of the net. 18 seconds of power play time remaining. From point against Nugent-Hopkins. Against Hall, the puck comes free, and Atkinson sends it the length of the ice. Alashevsky with the afterburner. Once he drew a penalty, and the next time he got a good scoring chance. No shots for the Oilers on that one as the penalty is over. Needs him off out of the box. Less than a minute to go in this first. Wisniewski. Backhanded in by Brown. He's going to race after it. We get the whistle. Offside call. Backhanded in by Brown. He's going to race after it. We get the whistle. Offside offside call.
As you mentioned, Kevin Alashemsky just flying in this game tonight. Drew that penalty, even though maybe it wasn't a penalty. But because he was going so fast, it was pretty hard to read. Here's his rush on the power play. He takes it. And look at his head up the whole time. He knows that he has a step on the key, so he tries to go short side of Bobrovsky. But one of the few guys in the league that can skate as fast with the puck as he can without it and control it all the way. Good rush there by Hemsky on that power play.
And that was the only shot the Oilers got on that power play. 8 shots for them right now. The Blue Jackets with 11.
That's typically the problem when you're the fastest guy on the ice is for guys to keep up with you.
Yeah.
Get there to a place where you can be an option for a pass. But I like that from Hemsky when he takes it to the net. Not always looking to pass first. He has that speed. He used it there to drive it right to the point.
Hemsky with 8 goals on the season. Everly. Magnus PRV. Sam Gagnon. And Gagnon stopped by Broussard. Time winding down to the period. Here's PRV circling. Plays it off the glass. Is better shooting, and that's going to be icing with 7.9 seconds to go. And Abby Bullen makes the last shot. By Atkinson. And Abby Bullen makes the save. The Blue Jackets with a 2-1 lead. Darren Millard will send it back to you guys and the panel. You guys and the panel.
I like that introduction. Every time Louis talks, Gene Principe gets closer to doing the color commentary.
With first period of play, what face off slow.
They come again.
Can't work tonight by the fourth line. Louis and Kevin to you.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Second period is underway. And let's find the score. Is up there now. Quick shot right off the hop again for Taylor Atkinson. And you talk about a line feeling it. It's this Anisimov, Atkinson, Calvert line, and here they come again. Calvert fires a shot, and that one whistles wide. Better shoot, able to keep it in. Atkinson behind the net. Gets by him. Taylor Hall will pick it up. Wonders whether that's still. There are 30 seconds into the period. Nugent Hopkins to Hall to Everly. Jordan Everly dances in. Jordan Everly. Shooting, able to keep it in. Atkinson behind the net. Gets by him. Taylor Hall will pick it up. Wonders whether that's still. There are 30 seconds into the period. Better shooting, able to keep it in. Atkinson behind the net. Gets by him. Taylor Hall will pick it up. Wonders whether the net gets by him. Taylor Hall will pick it up. Wonders whether that scored. There are 30 seconds into the period. Ways to the period. Points. Letestu. Behind the net. Gagne. Sam Gagne. Plays it to the middle. It's picked up by Letestu. He'll give it to Collins, and Collins will get it out. What a start for the Oilers in this period. And Jones almost set up. Nicely will be the call. Well, the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Now hiring trades in oil country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today. And there's what happened 10 seconds in, Louis. Now, Magnus PRV's goal is a significant one because Alashemsky gets a milestone assist. Magnus PRV's goal is a significant one because Alashemsky gets a milestone assist.
Yeah, he does. It's 318th assist of his career, and it passes Ryan Smith in the Oilers' all-time list for 7th place now. And here's the tying goal by Jordan Everly early in the second period. A much better start for Edmonton as he walks his way in and tucks it home.
Derek Broussard with a puck now. Vinny Foxwell. Foxwell leaves it there for Jared Bowl, but it's picked off before it can get to him. Justin Schultz. And Louis, you know, fighters make fights. I think if the Oilers are happy with the pace right now, this is more suited to their run-and-gun style. Yakopov trying to turn and get a shot away. Only Todd Richards wants his team playing this way for 60 minutes.
No, not at all. You know, I thought the latter half of that first period that you saw the pace pick up, and that's when Edmonton started to generate most of their chances. Quick transitions like that first pass there by Whitney, up the ice, attacking aggressively, pushing the Columbus Blue Jackets into the defensive zone. Because when Columbus has the opportunity to get pucks in and cycle, they're a very hard-working, good team down low, and they can control the pace.
Calvert with the puck now. This has been the most dangerous line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Artem Anisimov behind the net. Cutter watching him. Racing over is Atkinson. Cam Atkinson turns. Cam Atkinson moving in. still hasn't taken a shot yet, still has the puck. He'll play it back, and it got by Erickson. Louis, you know all that stuff you said about, well, we get to that in a second as Calvert walks in. Calvert shot, stopped by Howie Dolan. Calvert shot. Louis, you know all that stuff you said about, well, we get to that in a second as Calvert walks in. Calvert shot, stopped by Howie Dolan.
Horcov! He scores! The captain ties the game in Game 5! 3-3! Second goal in the playoffs. It's on Horcov. And the winner's shot. It's on Horcov.
Universal Music
Get the playoff goal.
That's on the goal by Jordan. Our next score and win winner courtesy of Safeway and Maybach Coffee is Michelle Wilson of it. Our next score and win. Calvert walks in. Calvert shot. Stopped by Howie Dolan.
2 seconds after that goal.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Our next score and win winner courtesy of Safeway and Maybach Coffee is Michelle Wilson of Edmonton, who has won the Universal Music CD prize pack, and that's on the goal by Jordan Eberle 39 seconds into the period. 14-10, the shots on goal net by Jordan Eberle 39 seconds into the period. 14-10, the shots on goal now. It was 12-8 after the first 20 minutes. Ryan Johansson against Ryan after the first 20 minutes.
Unassisted up there.
Well, now it was 12-8 after the first 20 minutes. Ryan Johansson against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Eberle gets it to Hall. Hall punches that puck in. Sergei Bobrovsky stops it. He'll play it himself. Gets it by Nugent-Hopkins temporarily. And then Nugent-Hopkins with that quick stick able to keep it in for the Oilers. But that's Sean Collins down with Johansson. Hall tracks him down. Eberle racing. Gets the puck ahead of R.J. Umberger. Umberger gives it to Fedor-Sutin. He'll play it to the corner, waiting for it there is Collins. Collins behind the net for Umberger. Umberger sweeps the puck towards the net, didn't make it through. Now, another opportunity deflected just wide. Collins now to Umberger. R.J. Umberger looking for Ryan Johansson. Jordan Eberle. Burns takes the hit. Columbus Bluejackets making the line change. 8-1-2. Going up the middle, pass picked up there by Magnus Bjarni. Bjarni has to wait for Gagne to clear the zone. Gagne looking for Hemsky, too far for him. Bjarni first off, takes it to Hemsky. Hemsky brings it to the near side. Sam Gagne has it down. Gagne goes behind the net. Here's Alex Hemsky. He's out in front. Gagne with the puck down. Leaves it all the way across. For the Oilers kept in though. The Oilers are trying to pursue their second line. Gagne gets it to Hemsky. Alex Hemsky. He gets stopped up by James Wisniewski. Puck comes straight for Bjarni. Turns. His shot is blocked by Lecescu. Good job to keep it in for Ladislav Schmid. Hemsky again circling the net. Alex Hemsky. Back to the point it comes. Petrie fans on the shot. Gets it again. Jeff Petrie still has it. Now he'll play it off the end board for Hemsky. Hemsky. With Bjarni in front. Jeff Petrie with it now. Steps into a slap shot. Hand save by Sergei Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky has seen enough. He will cover up and get the whistle. And the fans here appreciate the effort of the second line.
Excellent shift in the offensive zone by this line. Good sight.
Shot. Hand save by Sergei Bobrovsky. Fans here appreciate the effort. Have seen enough. He will cover up and get the whistle. And the fans here appreciate the effort of the second line.
Penalty shot.
Excellent shift in the offensive zone by this line. Good cycle down low. And a couple real good second efforts to keep pucks alive in the battle. And for Bobrovsky, he said, I've seen enough here. I'm not going to let...
And there was a penalty shot. Yeah. Jersey number.
Just continue to go on. And he probably could have just played this puck, and he decides to cover it up and get a whistle. And he probably could have just played this.
He gets the goal. Now it's Hensky. Shooting. And score! Edmonton Oilers lead the game 4-3. Now it's Hensky.
And handcuffs Devin Truman. So terrific recovery by Pittsburgh after that pass. They get it back to the shooting lane, to the net quickly, and they take an early 1-0 lead. The power play has been to the shooting lane, big. So terrific recovery by Pittsburgh after that pass. They get it back to the shooting lane, to the net quickly, and they take an early 1-0 lead. The power play has been red hot at over 50% this year in 3 games. Pittsburgh after that pass, they get it back to the shooting lane, to the net quickly, and they take an early 1-0 lead. The power play has been back to the shooting lane, to the net quickly, and they take an early 1-0 lead. After that pass, they get it back to the shooting lane,
Back to the shooting lane.
and they take
now
an early 1-0
the Oilers
lead. The
are
power
back
play has been red hot
4-3.
at over 50% this year.
Puck, and he decides to cover it up. They get a whistle and get some fresh bodies on the ice.
Right off the faceoff, the puck comes to him, and he'll cover it up again. Sergei Bobrovsky has been the reason Columbus has got themselves back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, no question about it.
Sergei Bobrovsky has been the reason Columbus has got themselves back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, no question about it, especially when you look at 8-1-4 since February 26th to the day.
Sergei Bobrovsky has been the reason Columbus has got themselves back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, no question about it, especially when you look at 8-1-4 since February 26th to the day. And, you know, the last 18 starts that he's had, he's allowed February 26th to the day. And, you know, the last 18 starts that he's had, he's allowed 1 or less goals in 9 of those 18 games. So pretty impressive numbers for Sergei Bobrovsky. Big reason why they had that 12-game, at least a point streak. They did not lose in regulation.
And he got the win in relief in that game March 5th. Columbus, a 4-3 shootout win for the Bluejackets. This is the rubber match of a 3-game series.
Yeah, that was kind of a starting point for the Bluejackets turnaround, in my opinion. They really kind of seemed to solidify after that game. As you mentioned, he came in early in the second period, did not let in a goal for the remaining 39 minutes of that game, and then stopped all shootout shooters for Edmonton to win that game in the shootout. From that point on, they went on a tear. And they're right now back in the mix in the Western Conference.
Just 2 regulation losses since February.
They're right now back in the mix in the Western Conference.
Just 2 regulation losses since February the 24th. Victory. The National League Lane.
Bluejackets.
Nikita McKeith takes a big hit there from Leonard Petrell. Brown gives him a puck as well. McKeith.
The Oilers.
Tim Erickson. To the middle to Williams. Anisimov. Can't get by Justin Schultz. Back the other way comes Brown. Brown. To the opposite corner. Leonard Petrell against Nikita McKeith. Behind the net for Brown. He gets tied up there by Tim Erickson. Petrie keeps it in. Jeff Petrie behind the net. Another hard-working shift for this 4th line. Is Schmid trying to get it to Ryan Smith. Cut off there by Nikitin. He pushes it to Anisimov. Takes a bump from Brown. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have to battle just to get the puck out of their own zone. Brown chips it in and then heads off. That allows Ralph Kruger to get that top line right back out there. Collins will tip it in. He'll go after it against Jeff Petrie. Sean Collins gets there first, playing in his 3rd National Hockey League game with number 43. Back to the point. Wisniewski. Didn't get it through. Follows up. James Wisniewski with it now. Wisniewski trying to get by Schmid. Plays it out in front. He's sitting there. Now it's the opposite corner. Hall. Nugent Hopkins. Joining the rush was Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Around the boards it goes. Waiting for it there is Hall. Taylor Hall. Trying to get a shot. He'll instead give it to Potter. Down low. Potter for Everly. Everly. Nugent Hopkins. Number. Chips at it against him. Everly with the puck now. Everly through. Here's an opportunity. Back to the point. Potter steps into a shot. Big save. Backhand chance. That was blocked before it could get through. Oilers keeping the pressure on. Everly gets a high stick. Penalty coming. And the Oilers will get their second power play. All action, all energy. Everly draws the penalty. Collins headed to the box.
First rush.
The Oilers will get their second power play.
Power play.
Action,
All energy. All energy.
Everly draws the
4-3
penalty.
Oilers.
Collins headed to the box.
3-0 comeback to the second.
Everly draws the penalty.
Replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK NV, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action. And the view of the action right now for Sean Collins, not so great. Not normally used to being in a spot like this. Because when he went to school, he went to Cornell, an Ivy League school where academics are very... He's in with derivatives.
Lineup day, I think.
Management. I don't believe I took that course.
yeah. You were away on sign-up day, I think. Right. The Oilers' second power play. They got one shot. The last time they had the man advantage.
Make it 5-3.
Power play looking for its first goal against Columbus. They are 0 for 8 so far as Taylor Hall winds up. Here comes Hall against Adrian Aquilin. He gets stopped but carrying on. Justin Schultz. Justin Schultz circles the net. Schultz gets it to Hall on the near side. Hall to the corner it goes. Aquilin battling with Horcov. Aquilin bounces that puck towards the blue line. Justin Schultz keeps it in. Gives it to Hemsky. Cross ice. Nugent Hopkins will pick it up. Settle it down on the half wall. Nugent Hopkins to the corner. That is picked up by the veteran Aquilin. He plays it over the wall. He's trying to get it out. Can't get it by Nugent Hopkins. He goes down and Hall goes down. Horcov gets shoved to the ice. The battle in the trench on the near wall. Justin Schultz with it now. He'll go far side. Get away back again. Here's Hall. Taylor Hall. The hit shot for second. And that goes deflected wide. Adrian Aquilin in front. Dean all over the captain.
Well, lots of soccer to tell you about. 3 matches at 8:30 a.m. Mountain this Saturday morning. Newcastle and Manchester City. Sportsnet West. Tottenham takes on Swansea City on Sportsnet 1. Reading plays Arsenal on Sportsnet World. Then at 11 a.m. Mountain on Sportsnet 1. Stoke City meets Everton. And in MLS action, the Whitecaps head to LA to take on Chivas USA at 8:30. Play on Saturday evening on Sportsnet 1. My day and evening are fun.
Take a breath, Gene. 46 seconds left to go with the penalty to Sean Collins. I guess he's one of those guys go, hey, smart guy. He goes, yeah, I am. Whitney back to pick it up. And Whitney, lone defender on this power play that has 30 seconds left in it. Van Gogh going in against Jack Johnson. Back to the point. Whitney is there. He's got Yakopov. Yakopov goes cross ice. Gagne down low. Agnes Piarvi's in front. Emily couldn't get it to him, and now 15 seconds to go. Abby Blumen will leave it there for Whitney. A chance for one last rush with a man advantage. Albert and Atkinson on the penalty kill along with Jack Johnson and Penner Toot. Jordan Everly moving in. Everly lost it at the last second. A bouncing puck swung at, and right out of the penalty box comes Collins, and he's got it now. Collins holds up. Whitney trying to clear it. Oilers trying to get a change. Sent down into Oilers territory and then out of play. Tell us Oilers hockey from Rexall Place. 2-2 tie on Sportsnet.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Nabob Coffee. Meanwhile, Oiler fans, it's your last chance to decide which minor hockey teams get to train like the pros with the 4 Drills and Skills contest. Go to 4drillsandskills.ca to see which teams made it through to the final round and cast your vote for the winners. Voting closes on Saturday.
Oilers out shooting Columbus 5-2 in this second period. Mike Brown and Jared Bowl are going to square up. Louis, you saw this right away. Jared Bowl and Mike Brown, each guy with 9 fights so far. Bowl and Brown. And look at Jared. Oilers out shooting Columbus 5-2 in this second period. Mike Brown and Jared Bowl are going to square up. Louis, you saw this right up.
Here is Ryan Smith. He's trapped. Ryan Smith. He scores! 5-3 Edmonton! Ryan Smith puts their second goal in the playoffs.
Away. Brown. And look at Mike Brown. Mike Brown then pushes that right goes low and then left. And he is catching Jared Bull. Bull comes back with a right hand of his own. Bull loses his helmet. Brown left and right.
Left and right. He is now a Bull. 5-3 Oilers.
Uppercut.
That's the third time these two guys.
And the fans here at Rexall come to their feet.
Oilers overclassed the playoffs.
Here at Rexall. Mark Wheeler playing not finally stepped in.
Third period.
Here at Rexall.
Oilers extended the period.
Finally stepped
The
in.
lead is now 5-3.
Rexall come to their feet.
Rexall coming to
It's the third time these two guys have fought each other in the National Hockey League careers, and that one there probably the best one. Both guys got their shots in, and Brown was bleeding pretty good coming off the ice from the forehead area, I think. So a good shot landed by Bull. He landed a couple early real good shots on Bull. The bigger guy, longer arms, tried to stretch Brown out, but those rapid fists coming his way. Good tilt. Both guys getting their licks in, that's for sure.
A much longer fight for Mike Brown than the one he had with Barrett Jackman in St. Louis on Tuesday. And now Brown is going to have to go and get some repairs, as Louis mentioned, and you saw he was bleeding.
Pretty good ovation here from the Edmonton crowd as well. They love the way he's played here in Edmonton. Come in with a lot of energy, physicality. His 10th fighting major of the year tied with the guy that he just fought. Bull. Pretty hard to Kevin, so real good spirited tilt there. Pretty hard to tell first take. I want to say that both guys got their shots in. I think that obviously it's going up good one in and cut down. He also got a few on there that stumbled Bull early on, so I'd call it a try.
Well, we'll see what that does to either team in terms of right. The Oilers with the pressure now. And it's coming from Ryan Boone out there on that line in place of Mike Brown. Richard Brown and Smith. Now bouncing puck. Pushed away by Tim Erickson. Everly on the ice, 50 short with a puck. Fires it towards the net, doesn't get through. Brassard's got it. Stretch back for Foster. Didn't get to it. Tim Erickson gets it back to center. Flipped in by Derek Brassard, but Ryan wants the chip. Good for Schultz. He's going to go back and pick it up. Line on the ice. The Oilers went down. They are responsible for the tying goal. Back to the point, but hit by Corey Fowler. Wicks is on now. Ryan Whitney has the angle on Cam Atkinson. Going to play it off the board for Hall. The pass up for Everly. Jordan Everly moving in with Vincent Hopkins. North Johnson out of it. Converge, and now fully behind the net has tied up Everly. Albert gets it to Atkinson. Atkinson to Anisimov. Artem Anisimov for Jack Johnson. Just out of his reach and Connor took care of Anisimov. Back the other way we go. Quick pass for Jordan Everly.
This perfectly hockey center.
Here, the Oilers will be on the road in a Canadian city. We'll be in Calgary on trade deadline day. You and I were in Winnipeg. We'll be in Calgary on trade deadline day. You and I were in Winnipeg. Last trade deadline day. 2-2 the score, 7:45 to go in the second period.
Oilers.
Bluejackets with 14 shots. The Oilers with 13, the only goal in this period. Off the stick of Jordan Everly. Alexevsky. To Gagne. Gagne to Biardi. Biardi going in against James Magnusi. Magnusi kicks him into the boards. Magnusi missed the last 14 with a broken foot. R.J. Umberger. Vinny Possible. Getting there ahead of Petrie. Turns, but Petrie stays calm. The puck comes around the near side. Biardi, quick little pass to Alexevsky. Hemsky across the blue line. Alexevsky stops up. Cross-line pass was picked off by Lepesky. But Gagne manages to keep it in. In there in support. Gagne gets it to him. Alexevsky back to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Drop pass for Justin Schultz, but he has Possible right in his face. Schultz. To Schmid. Schmid will play it off the board, and that one goes out of play. to Schmid. Schmid will play it off the boards, and that one goes out of play.
Oh, nice play there by Jimmy Crossbourne. I don't know. I've never really liked the drop pass right at the blue line when you have a guy right on you and he's 4 feet away. Crossbourne did a good job there to get a stick on him. He gets by that defender. He's got, but you look at the numbers for Crossbourne. There's some pretty solid company right there. Along with Czech born players in the National Hockey League. He's one of those guys that you and I was talking about. He just keeps plugging along, keeps doing his thing. Gets great praise from Todd Dickinson and how he approaches the game, how he comes to every practice, the positive energy that he brings to the table each and every day.
5 times 20-goal scorer, leads the team in goals and in points. But it is this line that has done the damage. Calvert. And Calvert against Justin Schultz. Calvert comes out, takes a shot. Happy Bowman takes it up high. Anisimov powers at it, but Horcov deflects it into the corner. Anisimov for Atkinson. Cam Atkinson trying to get away from Nick Schultz. Atkinson. Calvert out in front. Atkinson turns. It's a shot to it. Sitting in the blue paint. And Nikolai Happy Bowman reaches out and grabs it.
Just took it away with an amazing save.
Had a real speedy
To preserve a 5-3 lead.
A real good little evasive moves on the spinoramas, and then Atkinson takes over. Does exactly that. This is the ground and pound down low. Just working your way to the front end. Doesn't get all that, the wood that he wants in that first shot. It trickles through, but with all those bodies in front, this is the view from Nikolai Haby-Bulin, what he has to try and find pucks through all these bodies. Look at this. And now he has to come up with a save, so that's why you go to the front of the net. Very difficult for a goaltender to see something, and he made a good save there.
Getting opportunity on this board right now.
Gets their opponent's
playoff game. Here on the postseason. We'll get it to Petrell. Petrell back to the point. 2 points, 1 4 game. Double cross-save for Ryan Whitney. Whitney off the board, right to Smith. Backhand attempt. Crowd in front. A smart play by Ryan Whitney. He played it off those end boards, and Ryan Smith almost took advantage. Back the other way. Back for Collins. He gets stopped. And a penalty coming up from Leonard Petrell. As he took shot, Collins into the net. Down, down. With the Schmid and Petrie. Wisniewski back into his own zone. Pass for Johansson. Too far for him. Petrie loses an edge. He's got a problem with his skate right now. He's going to have to work his way over.
Lose a strap or something.
He stepped on that, went down, but he is safely off the ice. Nick Schultz and Corey Potter are out there now. Anisimov to the corner against Nick Schultz. Potter can't get it by Umberger, but now it slowly comes ahead. And here's an opportunity for Gagne. Gagne moving in with Jones. Jones! Stopped by Bobrovsky. Back the other way. Gets by Umberger, and there is Potter. The Oilers with 4 shorthanded goals this season.
That was a great pass by Gagne, Kevin. A good job by both Gagne and Jones to get to that spot, create the 2-on-1 shorthanded, and a real nice save by Bobrovsky on that shot by Jones.
Broussard across the blue line. Offside is the call. We take a look at the Oilers' attempt for their 5th shorthanded goal of the year.
Well, right here, it's the play by Potter. You have to make sure it gets by that pinching player coming down the wall, and that's exactly what happens. Good read by Jones to go inside, let Gagne take the puck. And he gets a real nice pass through, and here's that last little fall down by Jeff Petrie. Look at the right skate. There's something coming down. It looks like it's the brace or a piece of tape that was wrapped around the ankle that came down and acted like a banana peel. He went down pretty quick.
He's got it all fixed up, and he's back out there. And there's 20 seconds left to go. Here comes Petrie.
Oh, here comes
Jeff Petrie moving in. Petrie moving in. Petrie moving in. Wide. Jeff Petrie with 3 goals on the season.
So Jeff Petrie's been really active in this game tonight, though, jumping up into the play. He's had about 4 times where he's had that puck in that area. And he loves to shoot that puck high. So the defender typically shoot low pucks. When he gets alone with the goal, he's going in front of the ball.
Petrell is out of the penalty box. Stepping into a shot. Keeps it there on top. Everly. Game 5. Alex on the screen. Leonard Petrell works his way out. It gets it to Everly. Everly will backhand it in. Bouncing puck on the wing to Bobrovsky. He'll hold on to it with Everly cruising by. No shots for Columbus on that power play.
Well, a lot of time.
Works his way out. It gets it to Everly. Everly will backhand it in. Bouncing puck comes right to Bobrovsky. And he will hold on to it with Everly cruising by. No shots for Columbus on that power play.
Well, a lot of times when you have a team that's playing a system like Columbus likes to clog up that neutral zone. It's a defense with speed that can sometimes penetrate through. Jeff Peters had a few chances just like that coming up the ice, and a good thing that he got that taken care of a little earlier on, or else he wouldn't have had that opportunity. But it's always funny when a player doesn't know what's going on with their skate, too, and it's the weirdest thing. I wonder if I don't have an edge or what's happening.
Nugent Hopkins right in front of the Ross. He dives up.
Dived it after.
Good job by Eberle to kind of come through right here. Handle on it, so usually Nugent Hopkins pretty effective at kicking that puck to his feet. Couldn't get that one to go.
Gets Potter shot stopped by Calder. It got all the way through. Back to get it. Nice little pass to Hall. Hall stopped by McKinnon. Oilers looking for Calder. Broken up. Nugent Hopkins coming back. Almost gave it away to Mark Letestu, but he did get it to Corey Potter. Over 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Hall looking for Whitney. That was broken up and back from the Columbus Bluejackets. Mark Letestu steps into a slap shot. Happy Bullen the save, and the puck is in the net.
And it makes a save right up the net.
Happy Bullen made the stop.
There's a small argument that he might have kicked this one in, Kevin.
Matt Calvert.
But it looks like they're going to call it a goal for sure as he was going down. It looks like he might have swung that leg, but a good shot catches Happy Bullen high, and as Calvert goes to the net, he just kind of, as he's falling, it goes off of his skate. So you tell me, is that a kicking motion or not? Definitely goes off of his foot into the net. It's going to be pretty hard to prove that he did that intentionally, but I don't know. You tell me, Kevin. It's a tough one.
He was knocked down as he drove the net
at the door to the net
by Nugent Hopkins.
And does it matter if it was an intentional or unintentional kicking motion? Because in this case, he was getting upended at the time, so in that process is when his skate hit that puck. But a good drive wide by Columbus, a good hard shot high that catches Happy Bullen in the shoulder. Matt Calvert's had a real solid game so far in this one here. He's been all over. He's been working hard. He scored a goal already. Has an assist. And looking to get a second goal and third point of the game.
And it was called.
And looking to get a second goal and third point of the game. As an assist.
for Yakopov.
And
Lisa.
And here's the call. After the puck, still 5-3.
it's a
For the Oilers.
get a pretty good game so now, it's
2 minutes left in this second period.
here, a failed puck.
A water opportunity for.
There it is towards the net. And right there the whole time till that point he has the vision of the puck. That's a tough one for me, I'll tell you what. Big break for the Oilers right there.
See if they can take advantage of it. And Johansson. Checked by Hensky. And Alex Hensky ends up in the puck. Alex Hensky drops for Justin Schultz. Schultz back to Hensky. Hensky could get the shot away. Nikita picks it up in the corner. They'll play it along for Sean Collins. Collins. Johansson and Umberger, the forward line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ryan Johansson with the backside. That goes right through. Right with a shot. That gets deflected wide. Big hack by Ryan Johansson. Umberger can't keep it in. Opportunity for Magnus Piarvi on the far side. He'll drop it back instead to Nick Schultz. Schultz to Justin Schultz. Schultz will go right up the middle. Sam Gagne fanned on that shot, and McKeaton gets it right out to Anisimov. Anisimov, Atkinson, and Calvert 3-on-2. Oilers in a line change. There's a shot, and there's a goal. Season. Goal in his last 4 games.
Number 42,
An 18th shot for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Guy not 18:34 at the time of the goal. Nikita the first guy not on that line to get a point in this game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Back the other way. Here comes Ryan Jones. Jones moving in. Jones centering pass. Yeah. First guy not 18:34 at the time of the goal. Nikita the first guy not on that line to get a point in this this game for the Columbus Bluejackets. Back the other way. Here comes Ryan Jones. Jones moving in. Jones centering pass. Yuck! Back the other way. Here comes Ryan Jones. Jones moving in. Jones. Bluejackets. Back the other way. Here comes Ryan Jones.
Play. I think it's going to be
1 second after the Columbus Bluejackets take the lead. The Oilers come back, and Sean Horcov gets his 6th goal of the season, and he gets his 8 points since coming back. Yakopov now has 10 assists and points since coming back from that injury that kept him out for 15. May.09 Yakopov now has 10 assists, and he gets his 8 points since coming back. Goal of the season. Period not over yet. Another backhand, this time by Ryan Smith with 36 seconds to go. And on Ryan Smith with 30-second helper. Has 10 assists. And Ryan Jones gets his second helper. Period not over yet. Another backhand, this time by Ryan Smith with 36 seconds to go. And Ryan from that injury that kept him out for out there now with 27 seconds to go. The comes down to the Corey Connor takes a look. He's got Calvert on him. He'll give it to Ryan Whitney. Whitney to Jordan Eberle. Eberle fakes the shot. Button hook for Eberle to Whitney. Whitney, wrist shot, and that one missed the target. Jack Johnson ahead to Calvert. Calvert with Atkinson driving the net. Fires the shot. That was blocked. Got it again. Backhand right through. Right at the horn. What a period. We've got more prizes. Swiping the free club card at Safeway. Raymond Cardes of 5-3. We've got more prizes. Swiping the free of Safeway. Raymond Cardes of Grand Prairie won the DVD prize pack from E1, courtesy of Safeway, Nabob Coffee, and the captain, Sean Horcov, at 19:05. Darren Millard. Hey, 3-3 game. Even you guys, past your bedtime, still interested in this one.
You produce plays like
97. Then we shoot. Oh, wait. Now as he closes in on 100. Okay, so there's hands being used in a certain way. Some other Oilers use their hands in a less physical way in that period.
Right, we watch our Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. We talk about all the things they need to learn. They got to get gritty, or they got to do this, they got to do that. Here's what you can't teach. See that move by Eberle? How many times you been on your couch, folks? So, I wish 14 would just shoot the. Oh wait, maybe not, because that was a pretty good move. And then you get a guy like Yakopov. Watch how this play starts. That's Yakopov right there throwing a hit. It turns into this. I'm in the press box, folks. The ice is laid out in front of me. The game looks so easy from up there. I didn't even see Sean Horcov coming here. Nail Yakopov does. It's an empty net center for Horcov. Ties the ball game up. Real nice play. I'm interested to see how much ice time Yakopov gets in the third period from Ralph Kruger.
Louis and Kevin, let's see what happens.
All right, gentlemen, 9 minutes and 50 seconds for Nail Yakopov. 2:40 as we are set for this third period. Tied at 3. The Oilers have their home run. A game that was in game 5 heading into the third. Oilers will head for the 1-1. It's elimination. A game that was tied heading into the third. Will look for their series victory. A game that was tied heading into the third. Sam Gagner sweeps it around the board. Waiting for it there. Here is Wisniewski. He's got the RB on him. Hexky as well. The puck comes right down the middle. Gagner almost got to it, but Calvert was there to push it away, and he'll get it to Atkinson. Atkinson, cross-ice speed, and there's a good backtrack. Hexky against Anisimov, and he steals it. Oh, a shot in goal. 27. Finds it. Atkinson, cross-ice speed, and there's a good backtrack. Hexky against Anisimov, and Anisimov steals it. Oh, and a shot in goal. 27 seconds against Anisimov, and Anisimov steals it. Oh, and a shot in goal. They're beyond it. Hexky as well. The puck comes right up the middle. Gagner almost got to it, but Calvert was there to push it away, and he'll get it to Atkinson. Middle, Gagner almost got to it, but Calvert was there to.
That's here. A good fight finds its way through the Blue Jackets.
And aggravated something. He's staying on the bench. Atkinson gets the goal from Anisimov at 27 seconds into the
replay of that shot, for me, there's a lot of bodies in front. The puck changed direction.
and it slips inside the post. I mean, he doesn't look too happy right now afterwards. Maybe this is just a spark by Ralph Kruger to get things going, but here it is here. He gets down, obviously redirected inside the post. Wasn't a whole lot of room for that puck to go through, but it found its way. And maybe for Ralph Kruger just trying to find a spark here, wants the goalie to be a little bit better. Although I don't think they have the rules to blame for those two shots coming from that angle. I think they're both redirected now.
Wonderful as one who is Devin Dubnyk this year, 5-3-2 in his career against the Columbus Blue Jackets. 4 goals on 78 shots, including a 39-save effort on February 10th. May.09. Yakopov. He was the spark in the goal by Sean Horcov. Then he passed go back the other way. Buffalo drop pass. Johnson steps into a shot. Big tap for Devin Dubnyk, and a great defensive play there by Magnus Piarvi to take away a rebound chance from Mark Letestu.
He took away a goal. That was a goal for sure by Letestu. Big save by Dubnyk on the blast by Johnson. He just teed it up, and Letestu on the doorstep had a wide open net, but it was Piarvi's stick that broke it up.
Back to the point it comes. Johnson another shot. This one gets deflected high up into the netting. Back to the point it comes. Johnson another shot. This one gets deflected high up into the netting. Our scoring summary is brought to you by Worley Parsons Ford. Now hiring trades in old country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today.
2 goals to start things off for Columbus. Then it's Magnus Piarvi that cuts the lead in half at the 15:09 mark of the first period. The second period, it was Jordan Eberle with the beauty of a goal, and Isamov gives them the lead once again. Then Horcov late ties the game 3-3 in the third period, much like the first. It was an early goal by Columbus. It's given them the 4-3 lead now.
Atkinson and Anisimov each have 3 points. Mike Brown. And a bump there by McKenzie. Happy goal on the night. He's done.
Goals between the cuts in between the pipes in a game that has seen a lot of action around the goaltenders. You know, both of those guys had a goal in Nebraska. You couldn't get a beating by them on Tuesday night. 7 goals between the 2 of them already. So it's amazing how this game changes in a hurry.
Well, the St. Louis Blues were world beaters here on Saturday, beating the Oilers 3-0. They have now lost 3 games in a row. You're right. Rusty and a 130 goal stop all 77 shots they faced in those games on Tuesday night. 7:17 left to go in this one. These 2 teams. Calvert and Anisimov and Atkinson are back on the ice. 5-4. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert game 5. And a feed it to the middle for Atkinson. It was broken up by Potter. Magnus Piarvi comes in. Gets by Nikita Nikita. But one foot. Potter the shot. He scores. Gets by Nikita Atkinson. It was broken. Calvert trying to feed it to the middle. These 2 teams. Calvert and Anisimov and Atkinson are back on the ice. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert and Anisimov and Atkinson are back on the ice. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert trying to feed it to the middle for these 2 teams. Calvert and Anisimov and Atkinson are back on the ice. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert trying to feed it to the middle for
control. Is just this cannon from the blue line. And it's
Corey Potter's first.
Enough, not too much. You got to.
Nope. Sharon Hatfield of Edmonton swiping a free club card on behalf of Safeway and Nabob Coffees won the men's Bulova chronograph watch. And that is courtesy of the goal by Corey Potter at 3:06 of this third period.
Yep, number 44 has made this game 4-4 with this blast from the blue line. Just tees it up on the one-time. Hemsky in front as a screen, and it gets by Bobrovsky.
Well, he thought he got the goal on that road trip, but it was given to Taylor Hall. He picked up an assist instead, so a couple of points in his last couple of games for Corey Potter. Nugent Hopkins gets stopped. Is Thomas Henry. Hemsky, Nugent Hopkins, and Eberle out there now. Hemsky going after it. Around Jack Johnson. Hemsky hanging on to it, feeds it back to the point. Schmid over to Petrie. Petrie takes a look, deflected. Bobrovsky reaches out. The puck is still alive. And now it's look deflected. Bobrovsky reaches is out. The puck is still alive.
Running to hands.
Now it's covered up.
Scores. And Columbus back to the hockey game.
Getting knocked out.
It's 5-4.
Over by Jack Johnson right into Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, and Bralishemsky stepping out there with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Jordan Everett. So a little shuffle of the lines here by Ralph Kruger as well. I love the traffic here all around. Bobrovsky and Johnson just kind of blasts Hemsky right into his own goaltender. As this one's redirected by Everett. Good hand-eye coordination to get that one through. And it sat around for a while. Good scramble in front by Bobrovsky. Coordination to get that one.
Trail just dumps it in. Trail with a nice hit. Tim Erickson. Talbot, Anisimov, and Atkinson. A forward line for the Columbus Bluejackets. And after gloved ahead, and we've got a whistle.
Good backtrack there by Mike Brown, and you know you heard Mark Spector talk about what he's done. Good backtrack there by Mike Brown, and you know you heard Mark Spector talk about what he's done since he's come over to the Edmonton Oilers from the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's a lot of hype. A lot of his teammates sent messages saying how much they're going to miss this guy. Great team guy, does a little bit of everything. Obviously he's tough. Obviously he can fight, but it's his work ethic and what he brings to each and every shift. And right here, make sure he's that guy coming back on the play. It's a glove pass.
Against Sam.
That effort coming up. Hold there by Mike Brown.
And that is a forward line for the Columbus Bluejackets. And that is gloved ahead, and we've got a whistle.
He scores. And it's tied at 5. Nikita.
Good backtrack there by Mike Brown, and you know you heard Mark Spector talk about what
And Mark Cortescu makes it a 4-point night.
he's done since he's come over to the Edmonton Oilers from the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's a lot of hype. A lot of his teammates sent messages saying how much they're going to miss this guy. Great team guy, does a little bit of everything. Obviously he's tough. Obviously he can fight, but it's his work ethic and what he brings to each and every shift. And right here, he's tough. Obviously he can fight, but it's his work ethic and what he brings to each and every shift. And right here, make sure he's that guy coming back on the play. It's a glove pass, but you love seeing that effort coming back into the play on that quick read.
The near side, Magnus Biarbi will pick it up. Magnus Biarbi sends that puck down the ice.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. With expert advice.
Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, courtesy of redtag.ca.
Don't want to go anywhere with 14:54 left to go in the third period.
To 6-5. Now it's 5-5. Two goals.
And the Oilers bounce that puck down the ice. That's for the Bluejackets to get a change in. Yakopov, Jones, and Horcov. Forward line right now. Puck sits at the side of the net. Umberger looking for it. And that one slides wide as Collins pushed it there. Umberger, Collins, and Johansson. Ryan Johansson against Nick Schultz. Lays it back to Feder Tooten. Tooten and Wisniewski on the blue line. Up around the boards for Umberger. He'll give it to Johansson. Ryan Johansson sent by Justin Schultz. Blue Jackets get a change in. Vinny Pascal on the ice now. Feder Tooten gets the puck to him. Centered it out in front. Nobody home. And it's picked up by Jones. He's got time. Quick pass to Yakopov. Welcome back inside.
Early goal by Columbus.
Gets deflected. Hot.
Tonight.
Now watch.
Just don't do enough.
Corey Potter's first goal.
As late as he has, a real nice job at the tip.
Defensive partner starts away. Long pass for Artem Anisimov.
An upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777.
From Rexall.
Word package.
So, the Yakopov. Flip down the ice for Brassard. Derek Brassard. To Letestu. Mark Letestu fires a shot. And there, standing tall, Devin Dubnyk. McCoy trying to keep it in. For pass to Yakopov. And
Early goals.
we're knotted at 4.
Not too much.
You're right.
Team change. Second period. A big save. 4 goals on both of the other. But here it is here.
Devin Dubnyk. Atkins 39 saves. In the game February the 10th in a 3-1 win. And now he goes to work. Dubnyk.
His direction.
Game from over. A court and Smith. Matt Johnson
On zone.
trail just
Good back.
the near side.
Club card at Safeway today. We could be our next one.
Home Hardware.
Mayo Yakopov. Devin Dubnyk. Everly. Here's the call. Tell us Oilers hockey from Rexall Place.
Bluejackets
Call.
knotted up at 5.
Tell us Oilers hockey from Rexall Place. Right
They
here.
start the quarterfinal.
It's time now to play the Tell Us game of Fan Right, Fan Wrong trivia. What year were the Oilers brought into the NHL? Was it 1960, 1970, 1971, or 1979? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit tellus.com/hockey.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers have been able to get all their lines out there, but the Columbus Bluejackets look like they are going to ride this line. With the Edmonton Oilers, you can't blame them for the way they produce Chalmers and the Columbus Bluejackets. Here against the fourth line for the Oilers, Cottrell, Smith, and Brown. Ryan Smith with a puck down. Smith dumps it in. Brown trying to get to it. Brown gets there first, plays it to the corner. Nikita defensive partner, starts away. Long pass for Artem Anisimov. Anisimov on the near side, throws it towards net. Devin Dubnyk, save, cover, and gets the whistle.
Here is the basket of half-eaten zucchini sticks from the win known as Money Monday.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Kevin Jevon stepped in there and done a real nice job after taking over for Nikolai Haby-Baron after that fourth goal went in for Columbus. And he's had a couple little tricky ones come his way. Not always easy to jump into the game as late as he has. He's done well so far.
R.J. Umberger, Sean Collins, and Ryan Johansson, the forward line right now, up against the top line for the Oilers. Taylor Hall, 31 points on the season. He's got an assist tonight. He's got 5 points in his last 3 games, and he's got the puck with a head of steam. Hall fires the shot. That one gets deflected to the corner. Hall leads this team in shots on goal, closing in on 100. There's shot with a shot right through, but Varsity the save. Everly on the far side. Jordan Everly. Drop pass for Hall. Hall takes a look, still has it, and a wrist shot that doesn't get through, and Columbus sends it down the ice. Nick Schultz will pick it up there, as that line is going to change up. The top line switches, and the second line hops over the boards. Petsky, Gagne, and Biardi. 11 minutes, 39 seconds left to go in regulation time. We're locked up at 4 in the final meeting between these two teams. 5, Magnus Biardi. Trying to flip it in, got a stick up on Brassard, and a penalty coming up. Magnus Biardi is going to head to the penalty box. And we'll have to see if Brassard was... 11 minutes, 39 seconds left to go and for the boards. Petsky, Gagne, and Biardi. 11 minutes, 39.
Columbus Bluejackets, PM Mountain Tellus Oilers hop
to the box right here as he plays this puck in the face area. No
play of the game for them. Just to take a rush at it.
The Oilers' worst nightmare in this game here tonight. This line trio of Atkinson, Calvert, and Isamov has been in that mix as well. But especially Atkinson and Calvert, two speedy guys, work hard, and Isamov so good defensively, 200 feet. He's a big body. They've been all over it to start this power play.
They produced 8 points in this game. Only the Nikita he's got it in. And of course, other than those guys.
It's a tie game.
Atkinson back to get it. Led by and Patrell up front on the second deck. Reed and Petrie all at the blue line. Minute and a half to go.
Tie the game. To 2 goals. 5-3.
Over the ice for the
Bluejackets.
Patrell.
5-5.
In the Johnson, Corey Hunt. Jack Johnson gains the zone. Here's Johnson. Centering pass. Right out in front. And it's down the ice by Leonard Patrell. The Oilers, 13th best on the penalty kill at home. But overall, a top 10 team in both penalty kill and power play. They are the 9th best in the penalty kill. R.J. Umberger behind the net. Umberger back to the point. Better Tootin waiting for it there. Better Tootin will give it back. Umberger gets a little help now from Broussard. Jack Johnson. Being hounded there by Gagnon. Lays it back to Ryan Johansson and went off his stick. The Columbus Blue Jackets will have to regroup the Oilers to get some fresh bodies up there with 34 seconds of power play time remaining. Schultz hands it around the boards. Broussard looks for it. And jumping at it. It's Nick Schultz, and he sends it the rest of the way. Better two. Will give it to Nikita. Nikita decides to keep it himself. Better two and Ladislav Speed kept that empty. It gets 5 seconds to go. The goal. It's not enough. Speed gets to it. And Henry moving the PRV out of the box. 17 to go in regulation time.
And the game was 9-5.
Tennis, Oilers hockey. Here.
Game 5. Tied at 5.
The Philadelphia tomorrow night as Toronto takes on the Phillies. 5 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet Pacific, East, and Ontario. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers are expanding their social media network. See, she doesn't even need to listen to me. She's doing it right there. Be the first to get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos by following Edmonton Oilers on Instagram and Vine.
I know, Lou, you always posting those pics on Instagram.
And goals.
What's behind
you in this game?
You get off, JoJo. Just over 9 minutes to go in the third period.
9 minutes to go in regulation time at game 5.
Talbot is there.
5-5 is the score.
Atkinson dumps it in. Justin Schultz. And Ryan Whitney. Blue line pair right now for Val Kruger. Eberle gets to center. Eberle to Nugent Hopkins. Up in the air. Hall can't touch it. It's left ahead. Nugent Hopkins does get to it. Gets knocked down by Artem Anisimov. Puck still loose. Hall comes up with a call. Trying to get it to Eberle. It comes back and splits the defenders. The Anisimov line will head off as well as the Nugent Hopkins line. Sam Gagnon. Magnus Piarvi has a goal tonight. He got things started for the Edmonton Oilers in the first period. Jack Johnson. Vinny Hoskell. Backhands it up. Corey Hunt has to shoot it right back in. He blinds them. 25-21. The shots favor the Blue Jackets. It was 8-8 after 2 periods. In that period, 20-16 were the shots for Columbus. Gagnon. Backhand, Bobrovsky, glove save with Piarvi there. He'll hang on.
Son of a nug.
Yeah, Petrie pitches in, sends it around the board. Speed waiting for it. Picked up by Erickson. That is with Lucy. Lucy knocked down by Jones. Umberger with it now. He'll play it off the glass and bounce it down the ice. Ryan Johansson. Beat for the puck by Petrie, but Johansson recovers, gets it to Umberger. Umberger bounces puck, can't get a shot. Horcov back defensively. Johansson sweeps it towards the net. That shot stopped by Kevin Dubnik. Quick pass to Speed. Speed. Horcov. Yakopov stopped by Feder Tootin. And offside the call. Following the game is connected with a preview. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman.
Jerome McGinley speaks. We'll hear from number 12.
But do the Pens even need him? They're going streaking again.
All right, thanks, guys. And, of course, a complete post-game report from this one at Rexall.
This one.
6:55 left to go in regulation time.
Tied at 5.
There is
Yakopov. Yakopov just shoots. They're looking for a goal. He scores! Yakopov. Second goal of the night. 6-5 Oilers with 6 minutes left to go in regulation time. Oilers 3 comebacks.
We'll just hit that one.
Did the Pirates even
Report. I think. Thanks, guys. All right, thanks, guys. And, of course, a complete post-game report from this one at Rexall. 6:55 left to go in regulation time. Now, Smith, Patel. Patel bumped into Jared Bull. Picked up by he will just put that one high down the ice. Settles on it, gets it to Ryan Smith. Patel. Moving in against Trout. Makes the shot that's good. Well saved by Bobrovsky with Brown right there. Well, replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK NB, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action. And we have seen 8 goals in this hockey game. And we have seen 3 goalies work in the nets. Nugent Hopkins will line up against Artem Anisimov. From the faceoff, won by Nugent Hopkins. Paul gives it back to Whitney. Cottrell bumps into Jared Bull. Picked up by Dalton Trout. He will just play that one high down the ice.
Another offside at the Edmonton bench.
Well, replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK NB, providing you with a 20/20 view of all contest and Folgers coffee. Carolyn Rowe in this hockey
Alliance Film DVD ice back. Congratulations to Karen
on the goal in this hockey game.
For
Ryan, second of the game.
Goalies
by
Had a terrific game for his first game, right? Nugent Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight.
Working the nets.
Could easily have a
behind the net. Nugent Hopkins waiting for it. Nugent Hopkins by the that was blocked by Calvert. Here comes Anisimov. Anisimov going wide. Whitney. Waiting for it there. To Taylor Hall. And then both go down the foot. The bench. 31 points. Keeps it in. Alashensky goes cross ice, and that went off the stick of R.J. Umberger. Hemsky flips it out. Ladislav Schmid fills it down. He will get that puck in and then retreat. Umberger gets it to Wisniewski. Wisniewski to Fedor Tuch. Tuch to Brassard. Eric Brassard across the blue line. Brassard with a drop back on back. Throws it towards the net. Here's Vinny Prospel. Prospel back to the point. One-timer by Wisniewski, and that was deflected just wide by R.J. Umberger. Prospel leaves it behind the net. Picking it up ahead of speed is Horcov. Yakopov going after it against Fedor Tuch. Gets it to Wisniewski. Wisniewski takes the hit from Jones. Turns it over to Yakopov. Nail Yakopov. Surrounded by Anisimov. Anisimov with Prospel. Anisimov Still lets the shot go and went off. Nick Schultz, sharp angle shot by Anisimov, handled by Dudzik. Nick Schultz got it again. Schultz to the captain. The Oilers want to make a change. They'll get that change in now with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in regulation time.
Yakopov with a 4-point night.
To Anisimov.
3 players.
To McKenzie.
4-point night.
Justin Schultz to Jordan Eberle. Eberle to Whitney. Gets by him, but there's Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall cutting to the middle. Finds Eberle. Eberle upstairs. Fired that one just a little bit too high. We saw him score a goal just like that in St. Louis on Tuesday.
And his sights have been dialed in as of late. A good pass by Taylor Hall to take it to the middle. Find Eberle late. Just missing high.
Now Justin Schultz driving wide. Schultz checked by Jack Johnson. Hall in there in support, sends it around the boards. Waiting for it is Ryan Whitney. Whitney gets it deep. Nikit now to Johansson. Quickly to Calvin. With Atkinson. Johansson moving in. Johansson to Calvin. What a save!
Calvin, what a save! And now, little Yakopov just saves the hat trick.
Alashevsky.
That's the other reason Alashevsky. And moving in for little Yakopov. Yakopov moves in to the hat trick. He scores!
Welcome back inside the corners.
Yakopov, the hat trick. For Blank on the ice of Game 5. And now Yakopov turns the trick. Yakopov just passed through the net.
But it's Anisimov. Atkinson drops it back to Wisniewski.
Got perfect.
Putting that a minute 18 remaining in regulation. They're 12th in the West.
In the back door for Anisimov, I believe, driving in, so a couple of good chances. And another excellent option with me. I'll just walk it out and try and tuck it by Devin. Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. Could easily have a multiple point game. Griffith being for his first game out, even Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. With his post-Hudson, usually have a multiple point game in his hands right now. And finally gets one by. Ben Johnson's going to
Barron on the goal, his first for Ryan Nugent.
Griffith being for his first game out, even Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. Usually have a multiple point game in his hands right now. Gets one by. Brent Johnson's been a pretty good goaltending dealer here. As both goaltenders will make it look pretty easy with their positioning and size. Not allowing a whole lot of pucks to drop down in front of him. After now on the penalty goals for the Oilers. Could easily have a multiple point game in his hands right now. And finally, for his first game out, even Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. First for Ryan Nugent. Griffith being for his first game out, even Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. Could easily have a multiple point game in his hands right now. Griffith being for his first game out, even Hopkins has made some terrific passes tonight. Could easily have a multiple point game in his hands right now. And finally gets one by. Brent Johnson's been a pretty good goaltending dealer. Could easily have a multiple point game in his hands right now. And finally a multiple point game in his hands right now. And finally gets one by. Game in his hands right now. And finally gets one by. Brent Johnson's been a pretty good goaltending dealer here. As both goaltenders gets one by. Brent Johnson's been a pretty good goaltending dealer.
Sean Horcov, 5 points.
Both goaltenders will make it look pretty easy with their positioning and size. Goaltending duel here. Both goaltenders will make it look pretty easy with their position and their size.
Yakopov and Stanley.
Not allowing the whole. Reinders and Hopkins has made some terrific. Another great chance by this line trip. He goes to the front. A little bit of a mishap here for Edmonton. His two guys get tangled up with knock it out and try to, I believe, drive him in. So a couple of good chances created again.
On the board,
7-5 or
again.
On the board,
Yeah, it's unbelievable. 7 through 13, so 7 teams essentially 5 points apart coming in tonight's action in the National Hockey League in the Western Conference. So, you want to talk about a traffic jam and only a couple positions available.
Like playoffs and points, they're 12th in the West. Columbus is 11th. Louis is starting to feel like playoffs and points, they're 12th in the.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
But
7 through 13, so 7 teams
in the
essentially
playoffs.
5. You want to talk about a traffic jam and only a couple action in the National Hockey League in the Western Conference. So, you want to talk about a traffic jam and only a couple positions available.
And 30 seconds left to go in overtime. There's third regulation. 7-5 for the hat trick.
Out of the National Hockey League Western Conference. You want to talk about a traffic jam and only a couple of positions available in the top league as far as I can see. Yeah, it's going to be a tight run now.
The Rangers for the Sweet Caroline.
Playoff atmosphere.
Takes the
Headed to the bench for an extra attacker with 1:26 to go.
Headed to the bench. 3 to go.
This last minute and 26 seconds to be looking for the big shot. He can shoot it, and he can shoot it hard. Good job by Dubik. Out on the blue paint, challenging, making that save. And a timeout here to the Columbus Bluejackets to go over a game plan.
8-1-4 to even the point total. San Jose, the last invite to the playoff dance right now. They have 36 points coming into the action. Evan Dubnik on in relief. Stanley with a couple of points.
Win to 4 games.
Aldous Hemsky, the go-ahead goal.
Oilers, 4 games, 2, 3, and 4.
Aldous Hemsky, the go-ahead goal. Kanye with a couple of points.
Scored by 1 goal.
Aldous Hemsky, the go-ahead goal. Kanye with a couple of points.
And 3-1. Columbus leading the third
On
period.
in relief. Sam Gagner with a couple of
come
points.
back to 3-3. And
Aldous
5-3.
Hemsky, the go-ahead goal
And
right
ties
now.
the game at 5. But in the third period, third comeback.
Face-off.
It's at 7-5.
John Horcov will take this draw against Artem Anisimov. The Columbus net is empty. It was going to be Sam Gagner, but Horcov is out there in case Gagner gets knocked on the triple. But it's Anisimov who wins it. Johnson can't keep it in. Anisimov put it down. 1:18 remaining in regulation time. Anisimov trying to shoot it in. Can't do it. With Newsky. Playing it Smith. Watching him. Smith. Horcov. Gagner. Atkinson drops it back for Wisniewski. Wisniewski over to Johnson. Less than a minute to go. Johnson in.
54 seconds left. 7-5 Oilers lead.
And he's in. Oilers have game 5
Says, you know,
action.
I'm making sure sit up over top.
30 seconds
The
left.
perfect weight. 40
Oilers find the way to win this series.
19-18, the time of the goal. The insurance for the Oilers. Columbus here Phillies.
20 seconds to go. The fans are standing up.
The Oilers.
Edmonton, the Oilers. A 7-5 victory. The series is over. What a way to pass to the second round. And 4 games to 1. That's the end of the first round. 7-5 is your final.
30 his friend.
Also, a big part.
A big part for Yakopov. They don't stop the party.
This
the fans, they go insane.
Nikolai Hamidulin, her second win.
And Nikolai Hamidulin gets their fourth win for the playoffs.
Telus Oilers Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
There's a thank you to the fans here at Rexall Place as the Oilers skate off with their 6th home win of the season
4-1 series win
on home ice. Well, look at our Molson 3 stars. Our 3-star selection is brought to you by Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. Well, Mike Brown with the 5 hits also could have put down an inspiring fight alongside Jared Bull, the number 3 star. Number 2 star, Ellis Hensky, feels like he had more than that because he was in on so many of the offensive plays, but he is the number 2 star with a goal. And Jordan Everly heating up. Had a couple of goals last time out against St. Louis, adds to his totals this evening, and even pitches in with a couple of block shots. The Edmonton Oilers not wanting to have a 3-point game against the team directly ahead of them in the standings, and they are able to come back on a couple of different occasions to defeat Columbus for a second time. Two assists. On the way, Ivanka and Ken with Connect.
Lineup made for the Vancouver Canucks. Zach Cassian, who has missed the last 5 with a back this week, and he'll be cleared to play, but he is not there. The Oilers have stayed in the playoff conversation by winning 2 games. They face a huge challenge tonight against the Canucks. They're trying to stay ahead of Minnesota for 3rd seed in the West. To the back press booth we go. We find Rick Ball with Teddy Reed.
Thank you, Scott. Starting goaltenders tonight, you talked about Corey Schneider, maybe his single biggest reach in the National